Kahnawake, Tonya Perron, Uncut. Coming to you just outside of the council building, where I actually haven't been since the beginning of March. I haven't been in my office. I've actually been in the building a few times, but not in the office. I hope everybody's doing well. I just wanted to say to everybody that I know it's been difficult the last 8 months or so. We've all been going through a lot. It's not easy on any of us, and probably worse for some over others. The work hasn't stopped here. I've been working out of my office at home, my old law office, since the middle of March. Work hasn't stopped, as I said. Every day is just meeting after meeting after meeting. The days are long. And the weeks are longer, it seems. Everybody's missing family, missing, friends, miss going to Plattsburgh, miss going to Albany, as I'm sure many of the women in the community also miss. I think it's good that we just, keep reminding ourselves of why we're doing what we're doing in terms of following all of the measures that have been put in place. We all care for each other, we care for our community. I know it's not easy. Sometimes it's frustrating, people are getting mad. It aggravates me too at times. But when I stop and think that we haven't lost anybody in the community to COVID, it really makes me realize just how much it's worth it to keep doing what we're doing. One loss of life is one life too many. So thank you everybody for following all the rules and just doing what you need to do to keep everybody here, all our loved ones safe. Just want to give you all, a thumbs up for that. Wanted to give a little bit of a quick update because we haven't been able to have our community meetings, unfortunately. We're trying to figure out other ways to engage with the community and bring the information to the community about what's going on in our files. Sorry, it's very windy out here. So I think most people are aware by now that the Cannabis Draft Regulations have been posted online for 30 days. I think the date is November 10th, which is the deadline. So I would encourage everybody to go online and take a look at the regulations. Whether you're interested, in the industry or not, I think it's important for everybody to take a look at those regulations and provide feedback. It's important that we hear from those that are, in favor, those that are against. Everybody's opinion matters, and I really think that this is something important that everybody should at least be aware of what's going to be implemented once the regulations are enacted. And it's important for the Cannabis Control Board and myself as the portfolio chief to hear from the community. So if you can check those out online. There's actually 4 that are posted right now, 4 pertaining to regulations for cultivation, processing, and distribution, dispensary licenses, regulations for medical cannabis, and the 4th one is licensing requirements and procedures. The 5th one will be posted, if not tomorrow, by early next week. It's pricing, royalties, and mandatory community contributions. So once the feedback is obtained after a 30-day period, it'll be analyzed and evaluated, and the next steps in the CDMP process will follow from there. We're also going to be posting for the Cannabis Control Office. A position will be going out hopefully sometime soon for I think it's it's not a project coordinator, it's not a project manager. The name's changed so many times, but it will be for a person to coordinate and manage the office of the Cannabis Control Board. So if anybody's interested in that, keep your eyes and ears open for that over the next few weeks. Like I said, hopefully sooner than later. Aside from that, there's been a lot of work going on in the duty to consult files. Myself and Chief Ross Matour are involved in meetings regularly every week with different proponents from outside the community, government proponents, as well as others that are embarking on projects that are either projects that involve work in the waters and therefore involve some loss of habitat and destruction to fish and to the water life, as well as projects that are taking place in areas where we assert traditional land use rights, etc. So regularly we're meeting with proponents of those projects in order to ensure that our rights are, any impact to our rights are being mitigated, or that we're protecting any of those rights from further impact. So the majority of our weeks for Chief Ross Matour and myself are spent in those files. There's a lot of discussions that go on with the proponents in order to ensure that all of the our rights are protected, and that the our stewardship responsibilities towards the animal life, the wildlife, the water life, all of that is being that we're keeping in line with those responsibilities. So these are just some of the files I've been working on. There was something else I wanted to mention. Oh, Justice Act, yes. The implementation of the Justice Act. There's a technical drafting committee that's been working on the regulations, the drafting of the regulations for the administrative tribunal. So that's in the works. Once we have a first draft ready, there will be some engagement with the community on that those draft regulations according to the CDMP policy. So I don't have an exact date for when those might be ready, but those will be forthcoming. So I think it's important to know that there's work advancing on that. There's still a lot of work to do, unfortunately. It didn't just end with the Justice Act being enacted. There's a lot of components that have to be put into place, and most of them are via regulations. There's also the matter in the Justice file of the Community Review Board. We're still looking for people to fill the positions on the Community Review Board, community members. So if anybody's interested in that, although there's no posting for it and the deadline for when it was posted has passed, we still are accepting anybody who's interested in that. Anybody who's interested should actually maybe give a call to Kevin Fleischer at Justice Services to obtain an application for that. So that's also something that we're trying to work on in the justice portfolio. Aside from that, just keeping busy on other matters, phone calls regularly with community members. I encourage, of course, anybody that has any questions pertaining to specifically the cannabis regulations, but also just in general to just call the council office and the messages will be sent to me. I try to make it a point to call back everybody within 24 hours. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer, and if for any reason I don't call you back, please make sure to call me back, because sometimes messages do get lost in the mayhem of all of the emails that we receive. So I think for today, that's about all I wanted to say. I wanted to thank everybody again for taking care of yourselves and your families and ensuring that our community remains safe and healthy. And hopefully you're getting outside and enjoying some time with your families, looking at the beautiful leaves, they're changing colors, and just enjoying the fact that every morning, you know, you get to wake up and you know, feel the breeze on you and see the beautiful colors that are now coming around in all of the trees. So thank you. I wish everybody well, and we'll be seeing you soon. Kahnawà.